God. Honestly, a little year ago, I started coding seriously, and now I can say perfectly that I have built the first 3 websites. Yeah, but with fake. Learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then Python, and then fooling around with TypeScript and Node.js, and getting back again with Vue.js. Well, I decided to level up my game, basically just to focus on this last one, and so I pick a book called Stack Vue, and then just learning everything, and so refreshing some ideas. Yeah, with this, as you can see, this took time, okay? So we can just settle this debate about getting full stack developer on career on 3 or 4 months. We can say that this could be actually realistic, okay? Or maybe I am a little bit slow. But the thing is that it is not magic, even if the process can get core. Hello and welcome back to Cipheros. I am Fabricio Machado, and today we'll walk you through all this process to build these 3 websites, static Vue.js websites with templates, okay? So I supposedly could create a lot more of them still. For getting started, we must realize that this is like a shared experience, okay? But you will have a lot of code, a lot of resources, and a lot of info for do also making this process real on your own experience. But obviously before you need to have some Vue.js basics. On my case, day after day, after spending approximately 3 hours per day relearning and refreshing the knowledge, I was on this dynamic, flexible JavaScript framework. But I can just tell you a bunch of concepts that you probably want to learn before getting started on this. The other one is the Mustard syntax, which is very foundational, and some core directives like be bind, before, and be on to handle out events. Understanding principally a lot, okay? The .vue files, as these templates will be basically the bricks of the building that we are constructing, okay, with each website. So let's get started with our review. Glaciara site.
Breaking cold challenges.
This fake one is basically where everything started from, even before the programming every day until college series, which you can find on the channel, by the way. At the beginning I thought this would be very easy, as before getting into this goal, okay, that would be building the websites, I already was preparing myself with building at least 10 .vue templates. But when you build something real, the challenge actually becomes real. In some ways the path was very flat, okay? I was just getting there, asking ChatGPT to help me with the lore and info of the fake one, okay, for focusing actually on what matters, which was the code. Surprisingly, while watching this art, very probably you can assume that this Pokemon would be Ice and Fiery, which pair perfectly, okay, with AI tool. Okay, and as you can see on the site, which is already deployed, by the way, and you can find it on my GitHub profile, you will notice that, yeah, it looks empty a little bit, okay, it has a lot of text, okay, but before it was even more. Therefore, just to minimize this thing, I was building this grid icon, okay, to decorate it with images and glow effects, and so I can just display the additional info, okay, and with not just text, like the types of the month, the weight, the height, and the gender ratio. Just this to make it more professional, and also to assimilate more to a regular Pocket descent. For this case, Glaciara, it could be mostly female, but well, we let it 1-to-1. But seriously, the hardest part was, trust me, that I've got to generate a lot of images, okay, from a base one that was prepared on the, how is this called, the Nogmon AI. So I was just literally boom smashing that button until something very near. And when I got something very near, because obviously that is not that perfect, I had to spend a lot of time with Canva, okay, with edition. So as you can see, the Nogmon AI brought me this, and this was the Microsoft Designer base that I use just to refer Glaciara. There are not many differences, okay, and on the next mods we will see the actual one. So insights, do not think that everything will be very flat and ready and you will code like that, because actually you can, but you will get many ideas as you code, as you build your site, also competing your ego, because yeah, you can just lead it out, but actually it's about looking for what opportunities, main opportunities actually you can leverage, what other ideas you can just leave apart. Finally, as you can see on the Glaciara's evolution line, after the hero section, well, you have the pre-evo, which is Frostkit. Okay, it was just an image, therefore I just picked one of the first ones, which I know, okay, this looks very similar to a Lolan Vulpix. Not Ninetales exactly, but Pyreciuk site. Turning up the heat. I think that this was the hardest one. After learning how to deploy with Byte, the Glaciara side turned into Pyreciuk, which will be a Fire Dark, principally attacker Fakemon. I forgot to mention it, but well, Glaciara is like a supporter one on the competitive aspect. Repeating the process, I also asked to Nogmon AI to prepare this design on the free version. Okay, I don't know if it is limited, but the thing is that it threw me this, okay, this wolf, which actually looks very well, but the final result was this, which is a porcupine. Okay, compare these two, both are mammalians, but they are just different. And no, Pyreciuk is not a Digimon. Why this happened? Well, my friend, my Cipheros friend, I don't know if I call you like that, it's a wolf, okay? And when I asked to Microsoft designer for making a wolf, it just threw me very fury, generic Disney stupid things, and where I could not just settle as a Pokemon. Therefore, I tried with many attempts of many days. I know that I just spent 3 hours for each day, but it anyway took me some days with different prompts just to get like that with Pyreciuk. Basically, the idea was replicating something like Typhlosion. Pyreciuk can also get bipedal and quadrupedal. Here you have some images, for example, no? One of the many prompts that I tried. On the evolution line, well, with Flarling, which was also quickly selected, we have a very interesting lore. Pyreciuk evolves from it at least a level 30 when battling with, okay, on double battles it would be always aggressive Pokemon if they are identified so on the lore. An example would be just like this shown on the site itself: Houndoom, Zoroark, Incineroar, Gengar, Hydreigon, I don't know if Hydreigon exactly, but Lerizo, and Magearna. And as I've been gotten many images, okay, where the Pyreciuk's claws, eyes, and spikes were very intense in comparison to the reference art, well, I said that this was part of its lore, just how its ability Sharp Instincts was activated. What is Sharp Instincts about? Well, just check it out on the description where you have the Pyreciuk website. And finally, for this section, if you ask me how did I get these cards, well, just I watched out some CSS tutorials. Simultaneously, I was just starting on this series called Programming Everyday Until College that I was mentioning to you at the beginning of this video. The first 5 episodes are about building what I've been starting, but especially on the 3rd episode is this very, I don't know, tragic. And as you can just check out on that video, yep, deploying on this case, it gave me some troubles. At the last instances, I was just doing this process, but since I've got a lot of lag, I just decided to quit Visual Studio Code. But what an error, bros. Basically, I lost everything, no exaggeration, any programming file, basically text one, okay, not the images, hopefully, because if not, I didn't have a backup for them, was the leak. Therefore, yep, I had to build it again. I spent the 4th day of the series building everything from zero with some text that I have saved unintentionally on ChatGPT, but just at the last Pomodoro, I think after 6 hours, I recorded the 4th episode and the Pyreciuk site was back. Zynareth site. a mythical shock. Continue referencing this series, okay, from the day 7 to 16, I was just building this last one. Just was chosen by asking on a Discord server called the Slow Society, because people were just helping me with some advices. And thanks to Spectre, whose channel also you have in the description, just for mention him, this one was selected on a variety of options. So here is the comparison with the designs. The last Zynareth looks very different, but not that much like Pyreciuk. This last design assimilates to Ghibli, and as it does not have an evolution line because of being a mythical, the only one who has an evolution line is Metal and Metal, but we let them apart. This section was replaced by taxonomy, therefore I was just explaining some little things and just relate this species with other ones. For example, look at for similar designs like Seraora, yep, because this quite for assimilates to a cat of feeling probably. Zygarde, Luxury, and Thundurus. Luxury would be a very near species, okay, and Thundurus actually it is not related at all, except for their roles. So we've set Zynareth as a Thundurus companion. So all of this was performed between the day 8 and 11 of the already mentioned series. Next, during the 12th and 14th one, I was just developing this special span, which was another Vue component, okay, to highlight text, so the most important part. And yep, I was inspired by the Fireship site. At the beginning you can see how, yep, there is a label, and when you hover it, there is a GIF shown. On this case, I just set some images, okay, but well, this adds an interactive effect where you can just move along your mouse and you will see actually more context, okay, throughout visual stuff. And notice also the hexagon grid, which I also was building by, well, I don't know if copy pasting exactly, but dynamically between this and building my own stuff, okay, with a CSS tutorial. At the beginning, after I game pressing a lot of times this design button on Microsoft Designer to get the result I want, I was noticing just as an insight, okay, that at the beginning the designs were very realistic, okay, but eventually, okay, with some patience also, I was just getting the images that you can see, where some, instead of the white fur, have it actually on the entire head and claws, etc. Bright fur, green neon. Okay, so I also repeat the process again with Pyreciuk and just set this as the overchange mode, which is an ability that in the lore for a Pokemon that is basically fast special attacker, well, it was for 2 turns, and this stats, see, overview this even more. With this state, actually it can rival other mythical mons like, I don't know, Deoxys, especially on its speed form. We finished this story. I originally believed to finish this approximately on Halloween of 2024, but the process was very different to the plan, as actually this was finished approximately at Christmas. However, when I accomplished this on the chapter 16, which actually has a different thumbnail to the other ones, and so will be with the next projects, I humbly remind how, for example, entrepreneurs like Nelson Quest said that, okay, the first projects will be actually the slowest ones. If you want to profit them, you will be able to, but the thing is that this will be very low probably. But with time, experience, and dedication, you can actually swap out this effort reward system. That is, get the size very fast, or a minimal amount of time, and just maximizing the profit on very higher levels. There are more things to do, more things to learn, and more stuff that we can just still discover. Next, for the Vue.js, we're just going to connect it with Node.js and strengthening some skills that still need attention. Specifically applying the theory that, well, from the book that I mentioned, which is not about sponsoring, but just about reflecting, okay, how is dynamism can boost your learning process. So I am not benefiting from mentioning it, but you actually, as we're going to have a lot of lessons, a lot of informative videos and practical advices from the info that I will learn with these days. So follow this series and subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next one. This was Cipheros X, your programming online platform.